everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome back. If you've been here before, I'm Hammy with Hammy's Barbecue and Grilling. Today I am going to show you how to use and start a charcoal chimney starter using my Weber kettle. Here I have a 26-inch kettle. If you have a 22-inch kettle, the only difference is the amount of charcoal you put in the starter. We'll go over that shortly. If you've been using lighter fluid, don't feel bad, but you shouldn't use it again because it leaves bad taste in your food, bad smell in your food. I remember when I was a little kid tasting lighter fluid in my hot dogs, burgers, and it was about 10 or 12 years ago I discovered different methods on how to light charcoal without fluid, including the charcoal chimney starter. There are a number of methods you can use. Today I'm going to focus strictly on the chimney starter. In future videos I will show you other methods you can use to light your charcoal, and you can pick your favorite ones from there. So let's talk about brands of charcoal chimney starters. I'm going to be showing you with a Weber today. We're going to go over with a close-up on the different parts of this chimney starter. There's other brands out there. Use whichever one you like. Weber seems to be the most popular on YouTube channels. There's also one from Charbroil brand, Char Griller brand, Pit Boss brand, Kingsford has one. I personally think Weber has the best one, best quality, and one of the largest ones too. So let's go ahead and take a look. This is what we call a Weber chimney starter. This is a Weber brand chimney starter. And a couple different things. Here is the handle. Here is another handle. So if you can picture this, when we're gonna dump our lit charcoal, I'm gonna grab one hand here, grab my other hand here, and tip. So these are both handles. This one moves. This right here is a heat shield, so you don't burn your hands. Speaking of burning hands, we'll talk about safety in a moment. Inside is a pretty deep chamber, and that's where the charcoal's gonna sit. You'll see a number of holes along the side, as well as holes in the bottom. This is so airflow and oxygen can get through the charcoal and light it quickly and efficiently. Another great thing about these chimney starters is you can use the bottom one if you just want to light about 12 or 14 charcoal briquettes, or a little bit of charcoal, lump charcoal for a long cook, for a low and slow. I'm going to go ahead and fill this all the way up and then some for today's cook. So let's talk a little bit about safety. You want to make sure that you have barbecue, heat type tolerant gloves. I'll show you mine in a moment. You can use leather ones, you can use cloth ones. I did see someone on YouTube dumping his charcoal starter for his video using cotton gloves. Gardening gloves, not a good idea. You'll get a lot of small embers that fly out when you dump it. So you want to have a good set of gloves. You want to have closed-toed shoes. I'm wearing a pair right now. You can't see it with the angle of the camera, but I do have a singe mark on these shoes because of an ember that fell on my shoes. I've also had singe marks on feet when I used to do this in sandals in the hot summer. So I recommend closed-toed shoes as well. If you're a brand new beginner and kind of nervous about it, when I was new at this 10, 12 years ago, I actually used goggles for the first couple of cooks, first couple of months to get the hang of it. So make sure you have all those safety things in mind, and make sure you follow any directions from your charcoal starter, chimney starter manufacturer, as well as any fuel you use to start your fire. You want to make sure that you have your charcoal chimney starter on your charcoal grate, not on the food grate. If you happen to use it outside of the charcoal kettle or whatever charcoal cooking device you have, make sure you put it on top of a paver stone. I did this for years until I saw many videos from folks saying that you can actually crack concrete if it happens to be wet on the inside from rain or humidity and stuff like that. So use a paver stone if you don't use it in your actual grill. Next thing we have to talk about is fuel. I'm using a thing called lighter cubes or starter cubes from Weber. I'll tell you about these in a moment. There's different ways to fuel this. You can go ahead and use newsprint, newspaper, weekly supermarket ads, roll them up, crumple them up, and put them below the starter under here. You can do the same thing with paper towel soaked in vegetable oil. There's a popular product called Tumbleweeds. I think Royal Oak brand makes them. They are non-petroleum based and they catch fire. I've tried them, don't care for them myself, but I know they're very popular. There are a number of things that I know I've seen on Amazon. My brother likes one. They look like little bars, like popsicle stick shaped bars or wafers of a combustible material. He swears by them. I haven't tried them yet. What I like to use are the Weber lighter cubes. These are petroleum based. They're called paraffin wax. It looks like a big old sugar cube, and it does smell like petroleum, like gas or crude oil. I promise you that this smell and scent will burn away completely, will not affect the taste or the smell of your food, because they do burn out completely. When I bought my Weber Rapidfire chimney starter, the instructions said to use lighter cubes and to go ahead and use 2. I found out by using 3 that it gets this fire going a little bit quicker. And I forgot to mention earlier in the video, some pros and cons of a chimney starter. Some pros are it can get your charcoal fully lit very quickly and efficiently, evenly. It's relatively inexpensive. The chimney starter costs, I think they're up to $25, $26 for the Weber brand. Other ones are even cheaper. The starter cubes are about $8 or $9 now. They've gone up a little bit for a pack of 24. They last for a while, and you can always use paper towels and oil and all those other things I said. So relatively low cost. Some of the cons, you might notice if you're a returning viewer, that I'm in a different yard here. I'm actually at my mom's house, who lives in the same city as me, because I'm in the process of trying to get permission to charcoal grill at my apartment complex again. I did a really long cook early in the morning and was told I shouldn't grill for a while, so I'm over here right now, so that's why it looks different. But one of the cons, if you live in really tight quarters, maybe an apartment complex, really small yard, these things do belt off a lot of smoke for the first, several minutes. Next thing we're gonna do is get a lighter out, light each cube. I like the lighter cubes too, because they tend to catch easier when there's high winds. You don't want to grill when it's too windy, but when it's breezy out, windy. But they generally catch right. Hope you can see that fire. And then you just place the chimney starter on top. So you'll see some initial smoke. This is really black and gray, nasty smoke. You'll eventually see some white smoke. What you want to see, excuse me, what you want to see is a light blue smoke or no smoke at all. And depending on wind conditions, temperature conditions, humidity, the chimney starter can start anywhere from about 15 to 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera for now, and then we'll come back and give you an update on the times and how it looks. So we're about 4 minutes in. As you can see, it's very, very smoky around my mom's yard out here in the back. Don't worry, it's not smoky like this for the whole 20 minutes. It's usually around 5 to 7 minutes. And then the smoke dies down a little bit while it's still burning, getting all the coals lit. So here's a different angle from the other side of my grill. Just to give an idea of the smoke. I'm not telling you not to do it, just so you have an idea of how smoky it is these first several minutes. We're about 5 minutes in. Let's see if we can do a close-up here. It looks like the starter cubes are still burning, and they're slowly igniting the coals from the bottom, and then the briquettes will start igniting all the way up. So we're about 8 minutes into the charcoal igniting with the chimney starter, excuse me, and it's starting to bellow out less smoke. I know I said 5 to 7 minutes. I may have been off by a few minutes, and like I said, depends on temperature, winds, things like that. But hopefully you can see. My zoom's not working well on my camera, but inside that second row of holes on the right middle hole, you can see it's starting to get red and orange. So the charcoal is igniting as it slowly creeps up. It's still smoky, but not nearly as smoky as before. We're starting to see blue smoke now, which is a good sign, but it's still not ready because we want what's called ashing over. We want these charcoal briquettes at the top to start to show a whitish gray color. So that'll be soon. Stay tuned. So we are 12 minutes into the chimney starter here. As you can see, smoke is getting to be very minimal. It's that light blue that we want. We're seeing the charcoal and the vent holes turning reddish orange. That's a good sign. It's slowly creeping up the fire. And let me see if you can see it out in YouTube land. Yep, you can slowly see flames kind of dancing at the top. Totally normal. Eventually we're going to be looking for that whitish gray, quote unquote, ashing over. And before I forget, for years, I thought that the top of the charcoal had to be completely white or gray. Not true. I saw a few videos on YouTube. Thank you to whoever told me, I don't remember who. But you're going to flip this over anyway. So they're going to be nice and lit, eventually being on the bottom. That makes sense. So we're looking for when they start to ash over, turning whitish gray. This is another reason why you want to add in a little extra in the chimney start at the beginning. Number one, I have a 26-inch kettle versus a 22, so I need to cover more area. Even if you have a 22-inch Weber kettle, for example, or something similar, smaller than this, it's still not a bad idea to have charcoal briquettes slightly hanging out the top, because you may have just seen that charcoal go down. As it burns towards the top, it lowers. So as this is burning, the very, very bottom is already getting really, really burned through. So that's another reason to have some good extra supply charcoal in the chimney starter. So we are about 17 minutes in. I'm starting to see some initial ashing over. Hopefully you can see it from this angle. But I'm still seeing a lot of flames at the top, so I want those to die down, get a little more ashing over. So it looks like this will be around a 20 to 22 minute time for burning this charcoal, for getting it ready. You know, while we're waiting these last few minutes, I wanted to mention to you, I talked about pricing, and I highly recommend getting these used. I find them all the time on OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. If you're looking into getting a used charcoal grill, they often come with the sale. If you can see that off color kind of in the middle, it's almost like a stripe. I got that right after one burn, one start, one use of using this brand new charcoal starter. So it's not going to have that brand new look even after one cook. You don't want excessive rust. You want it to be in good shape, but it's going to have some discoloring on it regardless once you've used it once or twice. So try to find used if you can. So we still got some flame on top. That's fine. That's why we got the protective gloves. I got these on Amazon. I think they were 14 bucks. They withstand up to 1400 plus degrees. They work great. So as you can see, the charcoal's starting to ash over on the top. We've got one that's almost fully gray and some other ones getting there. So what I like to do is grab the movable handle first, grab it nice and tight, grab the second handle, and after some practice, you see all those embers though? After some practice, you can kind of do it with one hand towards the end. But you definitely want gloves. For safety, check the inside to see if there's any leftover embers or briquettes that are lit. When you set up your coals, you're going to want to have a pair of these gloves on. Get good gloves. I'm actually going to do a separate video right now for boneless, skinless chicken breast. So I'm going to go ahead and get these coals ready for what they call a two-zone fire. About one half coals and about one half empty. So thanks for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. If you liked what you saw today, please give me a like, add some comments, hit that subscribe and notification button. And from Hammy's Barbecue and Grilling, this is Hammy, also Mike, signing off. We'll see you on the next video.